Do you guys remember the Trey Hendrickson discussion we had?
Yes.
How could you not remember that?
So it was one of our more popular clips here on Seahawks Sessions. A lot of engagement across TikTok and YouTube, but there's the returning Trey Hendrickson debate. It's become official. The Bengals are shopping him around, or they're at least making it known that he is available. Don't know why.
Well, I thought they were doing that the entire time since we talked about this.
But they're doing it. So, and a lot of the football media, particularly over in Seattle in the Northwest and around that area, has made it questionable that, hey, could this team, despite the contracts that they need to resign, between the Charles Cross, the Abe Lucas of the world, the Woolens of the world, the Kenneth Walkers of the world, the Boy Maffe's of the world, like all those guys, Smith and Jigba, Witherspoon, despite all those guys that needed to resign, would you still make this trade? Dustin, I begin with you.
I think if a player of Trey Hendrickson's caliber is truly available, despite his age, I believe he's 29 or 30. I'm doing that off the top of the dome. I could be wrong. But last year, he was the NFL's leading pass rusher. And let me tell you, this might be a little bit of the preseason football sneaking in, which we'll get to later. I know you're not supposed to evaluate preseason, but I will get to my thoughts. But I am starting to have real faith in this Mike McDonald defense, and I just feel like adding Trey Hendrickson to it to bolster the pass rush is a no-brainer. I do think that we have some people that can get after the pass rush. Dexter Lawrence, I was hoping to see a little bit of him in the preseason. We did not see him, but at least I don't remember seeing him. I remember him being interviewed on the sidelines, and he says we're going to shut the lights out, but Trey Hendrickson helps you do that. My only worry is the asking price. The asking price, who do you give up for Trey Hendrickson? Do you package the aforementioned Reek Woolen? Do you think that there are other players on the team that can fill his spot? Because
here's what I'm going to answer that question with. Mm-hmm. And we've learned more information about this potential deal over the last several days. It's not the term, it's not the years that he wants. It's the guarantees.
Okay.
So, which makes this very interesting because the guarantees of the contract determine this whole deal. If it gets done, the Bengals have not budged. From what I know, they have a contract, they have the years, they have the terms of said years of the contract. Let's say 5 years or 4 years, $30 million per year. How much are the guarantees? How much are the guarantees? Is it fully guaranteed? Is it 2/3 of the way guaranteed? Is it 3/4 of the way guaranteed? How much is it guaranteed? So that's where I think the fine line gets drawn. Now, what does help in this regard is we're going to bring up an old friend, Jamal Adams.
Okay. Current Raider.
When Jamal Adams was traded here to the Seahawks, he did not sign his extension until the following offseason.
Okay.
Correct? Kevin, can you
yes.
You can fact check me on this.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
So Jamal Adams signed a 4-year extension with the Seahawks a year after he was traded to the Seahawks. Right?
They're still wishing they hadn't done that.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. It is what it is. So I am agreeing with you in the sense of I do believe Hendrickson makes this defense infinitely better. But
you could say that about any defense.
Correct. And they do not have the last defensive lineman to have even close to Hendrickson's numbers was Frank Clark.
Yeah.
2018, he had 13.5 sacks. It was the last time a Seahawks defensive lineman even came close to that. To that number. No one has ever come close to that. Jamal Adams had 10 sacks his first year, but whatever. That was a safety. But
right. That's a whole different way to play football. So
what keeps me from saying you do this trade is the contracts the Seahawks need to re-sign. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devin Witherspoon, Charles Cross, Abe Lucas, Kenneth Walker, Reek Woolen, like all those guys you are potentially looking to re-sign. They only have, as of right now, $38 million in cap space. 8th most in the league. But still, only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's... Kevin, what do you think? Because I'm torn between this whole thing.
I'm going to come at this from the Cincinnati perspective first.
Okay.
Because if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals and on Monday Night Football this past week, Joe Burrow goes out there and leads them right down the field. They score a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Washington takes the field, 4 plays, and they go like 70, 80 yards.
Unbelievable.
That was the most pathetic defensive display I have ever seen.
And that says a lot because we've seen a lot of poor defensive play here.
Yes, we have. But to have 4 plays and they didn't come close to stopping, whether it was a pass, a run, whatever it was, they obliterated the Bengals.
And they got good players in that defense. They really do.
And so if I see that and I'm the general manager, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and say, okay, Trey, we've got to get this done.
Yeah.
We've got to get this done because, they got it done with the rookie and that's all well and good, but they need him. They need to get this done. And as I've said from the beginning, I'm going to switch over to the Seahawks. I'm not giving them any players.
No.
I'm
so
not
you're doing it strictly picks.
And I'll give them picks. And that does not help the Bengals this year at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe if I was to give them a player, I'm going to go ahead and go with Christian Haynes off the offensive line because he's lost out on that position, the right guard position.
Yeah, and that would stink because...
It would. And he's the guy that I'm going to talk about in a minute, so I don't want to get too deep into this, but because, he's not a starter now. He's not going to be the starter.
No.
And so he's one guy I could see possibly dealing. But other than him, I'm not giving up any guys that I think are starting worthy guys on my Seahawks team. Because that weakens an area that we need to have players. I say we. The Seahawks need to have players.
It happens.
We do. Yeah. And so if they want to take draft picks, we can discuss this.
Draft picks would be no problem because they're probably going to pick in the 20s this year.
Right. Hopefully. That's what, 20s, late 20s, you know what I'm saying? And so if we want to talk that, if the Bengals call me up and say, hey, we'll talk draft picks, we can discuss this. If they want players, I'm not doing that.
No, because they have too many valuable pieces that I don't think they would even consider parting ways via trade because, God forbid Anthony Bradford goes down, Christian Haynes can fit right in.
Right. And
Haynes can fit right in, but if either Gray's able or Bradford go down.
Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. He's one of the key guys that I'm watching this weekend.
Yes, correct. So the other reason why I don't think you do this trade is because there's a former Mike McDonald player that's still out there in free agency.
We discussed this the last go-around.
Jadeveon Clowney. He's still out there. Now,
and this is 2 weeks after we discussed this initially, and he still hasn't had a single offer yet. He's considered done to me.